started. And make sure that you have your usual stuff. If you have blocks, that's great. If not, then a chair or a stool is helpful. A blanket and then a pillow or bolster. And as we come to a comfortable seat, shift and move. I say that every single time, but it has such an important purpose. Aside from just helping you start to ground and root, it also helps you to start to find a little movement, especially through the pelvis, to start to be able to be a little bit more fluid in that movement. So take hands to your hips and then tilt your pelvis a little forward and back. And without any kind of judgment, just notice how that feels. Notice what kind of movement you have. And sometimes, especially if you are really tight from some activity, then you might have less movement through the pelvis and more movement through the torso. So just notice what that is for you. And as you allow your pelvis to tilt a little forward, your belly to come a little forward, rest your hands on your legs, lengthen your sides, and then draw shoulder blades to connect onto your back. And with eyes closed, take a couple full deep breaths, tuning into your body in this space right here, right now. Then tuning into your own intention, your own purpose for being on your mat today, and that thing that you might want to carry with you off your mat. So that might be some care for a particular part of your body. It might be some awareness of compassion or gratitude. So you decide what that is for you, and take a deep breath with your own intention. Hands coming to connect at heart center, gently press your palms together. Lift your shoulders up and back. And then as you inhale, lengthen through the back of your neck. Exhale, bow towards your heart, honoring yourself for being here, for taking this time for you. Then softly opening your eyes, release your hands down, keep your chin down, and roll a couple times back through your shoulders. Then keep your shoulders up and back, and then now take right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a couple big breaths here through the side of your neck. You can hold on to the side of your head if you would like to with your right hand, or keep your hand resting down, that's okay too. But then add little tilts up and down with your chin. Then inhale, back up to center, and exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And again, you're welcome to hold on to the side of your head here if you'd like to, or keep your hand resting down. But add some tilts here up and down with your chin. Then back up to center now, hands come together in front to clasp, pull forward with your arms and round back through your spine. In this stretch for our lats, this stretch for our upper back, and then take that side to side movement. And then move through your head. So a little shaking of your head, no. Nodding your head, yes, toward the ground. Maybe a little ear to shoulder where your head bumps right into your arms. Then inhale, sit tall, roll your shoulders back a couple times. And then we'll take one more stretch for our neck. So wrap your right arm around the left side to take a hold at the base of your neck, right where your neck and shoulders connect. There should be a little bump that sticks out there on your spine. You can always use your left hand to help you push your arm a little further back if you want, but then you can rest your hand down. Now, pull forward with your hand, but resist and press back. Then take your head over to the left side and just add a little movement here. So it's your hand that's providing a little massage for your neck, your head. Sometimes it gets into where your jaw connects. Inhale back up to center, and then wrap left arm around to the right side, taking a hold of that same spot. So sometimes it's helpful to help yourself get there. Hold on, pull forward and press back. So find that resistance. And then take your head over to the right, move it around. And then back up to center now, switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. And shift your sitting bones, move them back and broad. And then rooting down at the hip crease, at the top of your thighs. Press, lift up through your sides, draw your shoulders up and back. And then think of hugging your elbows in toward your sides as you tuck your chin down, shake your head no toward the ground. Do little nods. And then keep your chin tucked down, fingertips come to the back of your neck, and think of palpating up and down your neck. And you might do that same pushing at the top of your shoulders. And then come on back up to center, and let's take a little bit of a spinal twist here. So as you draw your right shoulder forward and your left shoulder back, lengthen your entire spine from tail to crown. Exhale, draw your low ribs in to help you twist a tiny bit more. We'll just take a couple big breaths here. Then inhale back into center, and exhale, let's take left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. And again, shoulder blades are on your back here. Use an inhale to help you lengthen from tail to crown. Exhale to help you twist a tiny bit more at the low ribs. One more full breath. Inhale, come back into center. And then hands work out to your knees. Exhale, press your spine back into a cat-like pose. Your chin tucks down. And then again, shake your head no toward the ground and add a little bit of movement here through your ribs, your shoulders, adding that stretch in through your lats perhaps. Then inhale, sit tall and draw your heart forward. Engage shoulder blades onto your back. You can let your pelvis tilt so your belly's coming forward. Take a big breath here. And again, add a little bit of movement through your shoulders, your head. Then inhale, sit tall, and we're going to shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, you're setting yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Feel free to add a little cushion underneath your knees here if you would like. But as you root down through palms and fingertips, rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into the upper back. Sway your hips side to side, starting to get into the outside edge of your legs, those outer glute muscles and hip flexors and extenders. And if you would like, you can take it so far down that maybe your hip comes to touch. Or if that doesn't feel good, you can keep it a little bit more gentle and just take a little movement side to side. Then back up to center now. As you push down with your hands, reach forward with your right fingertips and even walk your right fingertips so they're out kind of in front of your left hand. Round upward with your spine and then reach your hips back toward your heels. Take a big breath. In particular, try to move your right hip further back. Inhale back up to center and reach your left fingertips forward and even in front of your right hand. Round upward through your spine like a cat pose and then hips towards your heels. Take a big breath and work your left hip further back. Then inhale back up to center and root down with palms and fingertips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. And now sway your shoulders side to side. We swayed our hips earlier. So think of, as you sway side to side, getting longer from hip to armpit. Then back into center, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose, and take a big breath. As you root down into your hands, think of pushing all the way from your lats. Bend your knees, send your sitting bones up, and take a big, full, deep breath. Now either from down dog or come back to your knees for this, lift your right leg. Take a big, full, deep breath and push through your heel. And now make your left side longer, pushing your left hip back, your left shoulder forward, and then begin to open up with your right hip. You might bend your knee and push your heel toward the left side. Stay long through your left side body. Then work your right foot forward in between your hands. Back knee can be up or down. You can have blocks for your hands here if you would like. Center off your hips and extend forward with your heart. Take a big, full, deep breath. Again, back knee up or down. Set your left hand on a block or the floor on the outside edge of your mat. Right hand to your knee as you start to turn your belly and your heart into a twist. Shoulder blades on your back, maybe stretched, top arm up. Full, big, deep breath. Push down with your bottom hand. Reach further with your top hand. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat and step back to either hands and knees or downward facing dog pose. Take a big breath. Rooting down through palms and fingertips. Find that rotation of your elbow pits like you're trying to turn them forward. And then push again from lats out through your hands. Knees bend a little, send your sitting bones up. And then lift your left leg. Long through your right side, and then turn open with your left leg. Maybe bend your knee and press your heel toward the right side. Full big breath. Then step left foot forward in between your hands. Blocks under hands here if you want. Extend your heart forward, center with your hips. Take a full breath. And now again, back knee up or down, it's your choice. Set your right hand on a block or the floor, left hand to your knee as you start to turn your belly and your heart to the left side. Shoulder blades are on your back, and then maybe stretch, top arm to the sky. One more big breath as you reach in both directions with your hands. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And now this time, step back all the way into a child's pose. Knees wide or narrow, your choice. Settle hips back towards your heels. And then work your arms forward, or you're welcome to take your arms back alongside your body. Let your head rest down either on the ground or on a block or maybe on stacked fists. Take a big breath. Two more full breaths right here. And now set yourself up on hands and knees. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Tuck toes under, and then you have your choice. We're gonna come forward into forward fold. So you can either lift your hips up and back to down dog to step forward, or step forward from your hands and knees, either one. Find your way into your forward fold with feet inner hip distance apart or wider, especially if hips, hamstrings, low back are tight. Wider sometimes feels better. Little bend to your knees. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Extend your heart forward. Exhale and fold over your legs. Inhale, lift up part way. Hands are above your knees are bent. Send your sitting bones up and extend your heart. And then walk your way up your legs, rising all the way up to stand. And then from this place, you can walk your feet into inner hip distance apart and parallel if you'd like. Turn your palms open. And then lift your shoulders up and back. Take ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Then hands behind to clasp. Pressing palms, lift shoulders up and back again. Hug elbows back, keeping joints unlocked. And then if it's in your practice, you can lift your hands away from your back, keeping shoulders up and back. Take a big deep breath, and whether you lift your hands or not, think of pressing palms together and pulling them apart at the same time. A little bit of resistance, getting into maybe some of the delts on the outside of your shoulder. Full big deep breath. Then releasing your hands, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, step your right foot back into your lunge. Inhale, reach up and rise, lifting up through your torso, center with your hips. Take a deep breath. Then right hand comes across to your knee or thigh, left hand to your hip. Press down with your hands, lengthen your spine. Exhale, low ribs in to help you twist. If you'd like, you can set right elbow down on your knee. You can stack hands, or you can stay lifted, whichever feels the best in your body. But as you draw your low ribs in, maybe twist a tiny bit more. Big breath. Exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. And step all the way back, downward facing dog pose. Pause for a full breath. Inhale forward into your plank. Knees can always be on the ground here. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Extend your front. Keep extending through your front. Inhale, curl up and open into whatever height cobra is in your practice today. Thinking of shoulders lifting up and back, low ribs and low belly engaging. One more big breath. On your exhale, push to hands and knees or downward facing dog pose and take a deep breath. And then work your way forward into your forward fold. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Plant fingertips, left foot steps back into your lunge. And inhale, reach up and rise. Center with your hips. Lengthen from hip to armpit, and then engage the low belly and low ribs. Take a full breath. Exhale, left hand comes to your right knee or thigh, right hand to your hip. Push down and lengthen. Exhale, low ribs draw in to help you twist, and then feel free to take elbow to your knee, hands stack if you want, or stay lifted. Take a big breath. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Step all the way back into a child's pose. And again, knees wide or narrow. Work your arms forward. Take a full deep breath. Head settles to something. Then inhale, gently rise all the way back up to your seat, coming all the way down onto sitting bones. And from that place, extend your right leg out long in front of you. Left foot is either on the inside or the outside of your right leg, your choice. And then from that place, your feet are active. Hug your knee in toward your body. Reach back with one hand at a time and turn and move your sitting bones. Now, as you inhale and tilt your belly forward, lift your ribs and start to twist toward the left side. And from there, you can wrap your elbow. You can work left fingertips behind you if you want. Switch your elbow to the other side. And variation of the twist that feels good in your body. Not necessarily having to take the deepest twist ever, but think of finding that tilt of your belly forward and a long spine. Exhale, low ribs draw in to help the twist. Full, big, deep inhale. Long, full exhale. Inhale back into center and lengthen both legs forward. And then bend your right knee in towards your sitting bone, and then your choice. Foot inside or outside the left leg. Hands hold on to your knee, and then just make sure to reach back. Move sitting bones back and broad to help that tilt of the pelvis. Hug in with the knee, lift your ribs. Exhale, low ribs in to help you start the twist. And then you can take the variation that feels the best in your body. Just remember that tilt of your pelvis. Your belly is coming forward, and especially on the right side here, think of your belly coming forward, your sitting bone, your pelvis tilting. Full big inhale, long full exhale. Inhale, come back into center and uncross your legs. You can bend both knees up and walk them in as close as is comfortable to your chest. You might wrap your arms around here. Your feet might be super close. They might be a little far away. Let your chin tuck in. Take a couple big breaths. Then inhaling, rise up tall, and exhale, support yourself to lower all the way down onto your back. And from your back, knees draw in, rock a little side to side. And now your choice, either knees together or wrap your left thigh over your right, and then take your legs over to the right side for that spinal twist. And you can always prop yourself. I just grabbed one of my blocks to put underneath my legs. You can prop with a bolster, pillows, whatever you need. And then notice your shoulders. Both shoulders on the ground. And if your left shoulder is popping up, then inchworm your torso over to the left side a little bit and see if that helps your shoulder come down. And then open arms up to a T or to a cactus And maybe take your gaze over to the left. Big deep breath. And then hug in with the muscles of your legs and bring your legs back up to center. Uncross them, you might have to inchworm your shoulders back into center. And then crossing right leg over your left if you crossed your legs last time, or just knees together, your choice. And then take your legs over to the left side. And again, prop if you would like. Most important is to think about how your shoulders are. So maybe shift your shoulders over a few inches to the left. And then if both shoulders are down, cactus or T with your arms, palms facing the ceiling. Gazing to the right if that's comfortable for your neck. Take another couple of breaths here. And then inhale back up to center with your legs. Uncross your legs, setting footprints on the floor. Reach your arms up overhead, your knees can stay bent here, or you can lengthen your legs all the way out. But stretch long, especially through your arms, so much that maybe your belly feels a little lifted, your low back feels a little bit lifted. Take a big, full, deep breath. And if your legs are extended, you can do the same thing as if your knees are bent and add a little bit of movement with your pelvis here. Little swivel, little tilt. And then come to your most comfortable resting pose. Whatever that looks like for you, set yourself up really well to be able to rest for a few moments. Begin to take a deeper breath. And add gentle movement into fingers and into toes. And as you're ready to bend your knees, roll over to whichever side feels best. And slowly press yourself back up to your seat. Hands connecting in heart center. Gently press palms together and lift your shoulders up and back. Take a full inhale here, lengthening, and exhale, bow towards your heart. Again, honoring yourself for taking this time for you. Have a beautiful and peaceful day. Enjoy the rain. Namaste.